Have you ever felt achy and bloated and tired, but you don't know why? Well, today I'm going to share with you what happens when we have silent inflammation in our body. I'm going to share with you what blood values in your lab panels you need to be looking for. That is a key indicator. Wait a minute, something is off. And I'm going to share with you what are the anti-inflammatory foods that you need to be consuming on a daily basis, plus what foods may be contributing to your inflammation. Your inflammation can be reversed by what is on your fork, but your inflammation can be delivered to you by what is on your fork. So let's look at your fork today, but let's also look at your blood values and your blood panels to see what's going on the inside view. Hello and welcome. I'm Annette Reeder from the biblicalnutritionist.com, and today it's about sharing God's recipe for excellent health. Now, the topic may be inflammation, but the recipe is always the same, and it's all about the Bible diet. Whether we call it the book diet or the biblio diet, it's about the Bible diet. And I'm so glad you're here to join me in this conversation. So first of all, we want to talk about the blood values, and then we'll get to the food, which is always my favorite part. We need to understand that there are very specific blood panels that need to be tested at least twice a year to see where you are with your inside view of your body. The first is CRP, which is C-reactive protein. This is a key inflammation marker in your body. Now, your doctor may not order this, so you may have to request it. And if they say, well, I don't have reasons to order it, you just need to understand, yes, under the standard plan that they are following, they may not be able to order it for you. They're not just being obstinate, it's just because of how things are run today. But you can order it yourself, and I'll put a link down below and you can get this ordered. C-reactive protein is one of the most important inflammation markers. It's made by your liver when there's inflammation anywhere in the body, your joints, your arteries, your gut, or even the brain. We want the number of your blood tests to be under zeros. We want it behind the decimal point, not in front of the decimal point. When you are at a 1, that means you have inflammation. When you get even higher, even up to 3, you have great inflammation and you need to address it immediately. So when you have your CRP done, and you can order this on your own, make sure it's behind the decimal point. And really, the ideal number is 0. 0 is what we're looking for. Another blood test kind of along the same lines as CRP would be your ESR, which would be, they call it the SED rate. That is another number that can be an indicator of inflammation, and you also want that at 0. So pause this video, go pull out your lab work. If you say, well, Annette, I don't have my lab work, it's at the doctor's office. Okay, when you are a client of mine or in the inner circle, I always recommend print it off. I know I'm so old school with paper, but you're like, oh, it's online. No, that can disappear. It can disappear. So you want to look at the paper and track how you're moving with your numbers. So if you were at a 1 a month ago, and then let's say 12 months from now, you're at a 3, we need to know when were you last at a 1 and what was going on in these last 12 months. So CRP and ESR, we want them both to be 0. If they're not, we need to be getting into an anti-inflammation diet right away. Now let's look at the next word that we're looking for, and that is homocysteine. It's an amino acid that your body makes naturally, but when it builds up, it can damage blood vessels, the brain, and even DNA. Optimal range is below 8. We want it way below 8.
Struggling with cravings, fatigue, or confusion about your health? You're not alone. But you don't have to stay stuck. Get the free Bible Health ebook and discover 7 powerful steps to real, lasting transformation God's way. Break emotional eating. Learn what truly satisfies. Align your health with God's truth. This is your breakthrough. Get your free Bible Health ebook now on the website, thebiblicalnutritionist.com. It's time to take the first step toward vibrant health, both physically and spiritually.
Anything above 8, especially if it gets to a 10, you are low on B vitamins. Now, B vitamins, a lot of times we get those from freshly milling whole grains. And this is why working with Dr. J. Hitson, and I'll put her link down below, she's noticing that those in the Biblical Nutritionist family who are freshly milling whole grains, their B vitamin scores are much greater than her general populace who gets blood work done with her. And so I like having the validation of what we teach actually is showing up on blood work. And if you're like, no, I'm celiac, gluten-free, well, we have videos about that. So, or, jump into the biblical nutritionist family and we'll help answer those questions. But yet, freshly milled grains have a lot of the B vitamins. Now, B12, sometimes you need to get that from animal products. Again, we're looking, how is the animal raised? How is it processed? We're not just buying, cheap meat at the grocery store, but God always provides. Never say you don't have enough money to eat healthy. God always provides for his own, those who trust in him. So we need to get B vitamins into the diet to help bring down the homocysteine level. Now, if you say, well, which B vitamin should I take? Well, I highly recommend B vitamins if it's from a good company that you can trust. So I'll put a link to that down below as well. But just check the company that you're already buying from. They might be okay. So homocysteine level is very, very important for understanding inflammation and heart disease. The next one is ferritin and LDL oxidized. So ferritin, as you know, or you may know, it's about your iron in your blood. Some people have too high iron and some people have too low iron. We want you right in the middle. And it's really fun to realize that now that we've been working with blood work and blood panels with one specific doctor, we're seeing that those who adopt into the Bible diet are reversing Hashimoto's, type 2 diabetes. And the beauty is it's not just someone claiming it, we have the blood work to show it. And that's what's so exciting about just going back to the foods God called good. I hope you already know the 3 principles for eating healthy. Number 1, eat the foods God called good for us as people to eat. I went what Jesus ate, is what I always say. Number 2 is eat the food as close to the way God designed it. Now, when I do events in churches around the country, I always present Eve's dilemma and how Eve's dilemma is our dilemma. And I show people what has gone into the getting us out of the garden and into the laboratory. A lot of work has gone in to let us drop the trust of what God designed and put our trust in someone we don't even know. Ferritin shows how much iron your body is storing. Too little can make you tired, but too much can cause oxidative stress. For women, ferritin should be around 40 to 100 max. But for men, it's 70 to 150. Anything over 200 can fuel inflammation and should be checked out with your doctor. Now let's look at LDL cholesterol, specifically your oxidized LDL. This tells you whether your cholesterol particles are damaged by inflammation. Ideally, oxidized LDL should be under 60. If it's high, that means oxidative stress is damaging your arteries. The fix isn't to fear cholesterol, not at all. God created cholesterol for our hormones. It's to fix the inflammation with real food, omega-3 fats, and antioxidants like vitamin E and polyphenols from berries and olives and greens. Now, something else you need to pay attention to is when you have your blood work done to test for inflammation, it must be a fasted blood work. Because if you eat a lot of food, especially processed food, and your inflammation numbers are high, that's just showing you those foods are inflammatory. It's not necessarily taking note of what's going on in the body. So always do a fasted blood work to truly test your inflammation markers. This is why sometimes when you're sick and you go to the doctor and he says, oh, well, while you're here, let's go ahead and get your blood work. Well, if you're sick, your blood work is going to be off and you're going to be put on medications that you might not have needed if you had done a fasted blood work. Now, let's go to the good part, which is what are the anti-inflammatory foods? Well, it's always going to be a food that God called good. So we can just go through my little buffet I've set up here. And this is, obviously we want greens in our diet. And what we have here is we have parsley. If you just eat a sprig of parsley before every meal, you would be so on the way to healing inflammation because this helps to purify your liver and your kidneys. So just take a sprig, just get used to it, or make a parsley tea. I've got a video about that. Just make it a habit. This is your new habit. Just like we do the lemon, salted water in the morning, we do a sprig of parsley with every meal. Your body already knows what to do with it. Other would be greens, would be like, this is kale that I picked up at the store. My kale in my garden is still a little short for cutting. And then cauliflower. As you know, if you've been following my teaching and you're part of the Biblical Nutritionist family just by joining our Facebook group, cruciferous is so key for healing. We talk about it in the Treasures Bible Study. We talk about it in the video series. I talk about it all of the time because there's a whole story about how it stands for the cross, and the cross is healing to us spiritually, and cruciferous is healing to us physically. These foods, you want 1 cup raw per day. You can have more, and I highly encourage more. And for people who say, oh, but that'll cause other issues, it takes like 6 to 8 cups to cause any issues in your body. And most people don't eat 8 cups of cauliflower a day. So these are not harming. They're very cleansing and they're very anti-inflammatory. Lentils, high fiber, are always going to be good. So these are some lentils here. Your whole grains, but you have to mill it yourself. Don't buy that bread at the grocery store, and don't email me, what about this bread? Because I'm going to say no, freshly milled is the only thing I approve. And then also we need the omega. So this is some wild caught salmon that I cooked myself, and we need wild caught. Everything from nuts and berries and seeds would be a good option too. So your walnuts, healthy oils, healthy fats, and healthy for your brain. Berries, so rich in polyphenols. If God designed it for you, eat it. Now, God had been preparing my heart for years. Annette, you've got to stop the sugar. I'm like, but I'm such a good baker. Doesn't matter. You got to get off the sugar because it's destroying your health, but it was also destroying our marriage because of how it affected my mind and my moods. And so the first year when I lost the 60 pounds, all I did was eat God's foods, real food. And then I started learning hunger and satisfied. And that's all you have to know to get your health back. So other things, garlic, we have nuts, we got herbs, turmeric, ginger, so many foods. If God called it good, it's going to be anti-inflammatory. Okay, now let's go to the inflammatory foods. You probably already know what they are, but let me go over the list just to make sure you're not trying to cheat. When we're talking about inflammatory foods, you need to realize that these foods throw gasoline on a fire because inflammation is a burning in your body. So when you eat these 7 foods that I'm going to share with you, you're throwing gasoline on a fire. You're creating more inflammation by eating this. Added sugar and sweet drinks. These raise your insulin and inflammatory cytokines. Refined carbs and white flour foods. Low fiber spikes glucose, increases your inflammation. Number 3, processed foods, including meats that have been processed, like your sausages. These had nitrates and oxidized fats, which is going to cause cell damage. Fried foods and trans fats, especially seed oil fried fast foods. Number 5, ultra-processed snacks, chips, pastries, packaged convenience foods. Number 6, high omega-6 vegetable oils, corn, soybean, sunflower oils in excess. Number 7, alcohol. It burdens the liver and it causes systemic inflammation. So remember, inflammation doesn't happen overnight. It happens gradually. So the healing is also going to be gradually. I was talking with a gentleman in our church, and he was saying how great he feels because he had been eating all God's foods for 1 week, just 1 week, and he was already feeling amazing. He says, all my aches and pains are gone. Well, I checked in with him a couple months later, said, hey, how's it going? He says, well, I didn't really like those foods, so I quit. Oh, okay. How are you feeling? I feel awful. I hurt all over. I can hardly get up. So he had a choice, and he saw the results of eating God's foods and feeling amazing, and then but yet he went back. And so realize every moment of the day, you have a choice. Do I want to cleanse my cells, bring in good nutrition like what you see here, or do I want to just let my cells suffer? You have that choice every meal, every bite, every day to bring healing or to bring inflammation. So processed foods all lead to inflammation. And so we just need to pay attention to that. So here's your takeaway. Get your blood work done. Where are your numbers with your CRP, your ESR, your ferritin, your homocysteine, and your LDL? We need to know those numbers. We need to know where you are today. Change your diet just forever, and then check your blood work again in 6 months, and you will be so amazed and so happy to see the value of what you have brought to your body, the healing that you have brought. And then continue. Don't give up on God's foods because they are healing. The degree of healing is between you and the Lord, what you're going to see, but you're going to see healing because He is the one who heals. Exodus 15:26. Go read that for yourself and let God's words just permeate your entire body. Well, thanks for letting me share with you God's recipe for excellent health. If you want to learn more, please go to thebiblicalnutritionist.com. At thebiblicalnutritionist.com, I have there, it says Start Here. That is a free course that you can go through where I start all of my coaching clients with. And so if you're like, hey, I just want to know, where do I start? It's going to go over mindset. It's going to go over physical healing, spiritual healing, and it has very key concepts in it. And if that's all you do, you'll have everything you need to start seeing healing. Go to start here at thebiblicalnutritionist.com. Be sure and hit like, subscribe, and the bell so we can stay notified. And the more you share this video with other people, the more I can continue sharing with them God's recipe for excellent health. Please share this video with at least 3 people that you love and care for.
Struggling with cravings, fatigue, or confusion about your health? You're not alone. But you don't have to stay stuck. Get the free Bible Health ebook and discover 7 powerful steps to real, lasting transformation God's way. Break emotional eating. Learn what truly satisfies. Align your health with God's truth. This is your breakthrough. Get your free Bible Health ebook now on the website, thebiblicalnutritionist.com. It's time to take the first step toward vibrant health, both physically and spiritually.